See, you got to
She knows us too well.
She does. That makes
We're
me
live
feel
now, and we've got Marlon with us right from the start, and we're late. So, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Daily Whatever Show.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
Lawrence Winterman,
I'm Dana Dubois.
beaming to us from the bridge of the Starship Enterprise.
Y'all, does this shirt really look that Star Trek?
You gotta wait so
just-
that people
that
see the
was
black
my
trim
first
around the
thought. I just
sleeves.
assumed.
It's
And then I saw
brown.
you didn't
It's
have any
brown.
kind of insignia, like
My friend, it's total Star
you could
Trek.
pull out a flip phone and just I would embrace it.
I think I don't have a choice. So sorry that we're late. We literally got on backstage with Marlon and it just started going
Proceeded
for it.
to immediately
I'm
start
sorry.
chatting with him.
About how I look like I'm a Starfleet officer in gold, and that poor Marlon's gonna get left behind on the planet in red.
Yep. The black guy gets the red
Oh,
the red shirt.
I'm so sorry.
Marlon, I'm sorry, but you're the black guy
You know
in a
what,
red
man?
shirt.
It's not the first
You're
time.
literally the opening, disaster, right? Like we meet Lieutenant Weems and he has two lines and then he gets eaten by the, crazy
Right.
monster.
And we're all like sad for like 5 seconds and then
move on.
that's it. Yeah.
Right.
Sorry. That's just I don't make the rules of
Oh.
the Star Trek universe. I just have to live by them.
Come on, we're in a post Cisco, post Captain, Discovery era. Like people of color are allowed to be captains now, thanks to
That's true.
the Deep Space Nine and Star Trek Discovery and all of the progress that the 27th century has made, or whatever.
Sure, but meanwhile, who's in the gold? Who's got two thumbs? Who's in
Woman
the
in
gold?
charge.
Right.
Me. Women in STEM. Thank you.
Right. I'm clearly the, side character that shows up for a minute that, has to be murdered so that we can figure out where Lieutenant Weems disappeared to.
Or maybe you're like a dignitary from another galaxy or something.
Right. I'm from the grammarians because I'm wearing my Oxford commas and semicolons and ampersands t-shirt.
The grammarians. I love it. And they're probably going to be like, if I'm supposed to be like the Picard, I'm going to be very jealous of your voice because Jean-Luc Picard had like the most beautiful voice, and it's going to be like, let's see who's more mellifluous. And that's my episode.
But then we need to bring Lieutenant Weems back to life because he clearly wins the most mellifluous voice of this episode.
All right, if we have any people still listening,
why are you sending me to my dictionary? Why are you doing that, man? It's too early.
Mellifluous is one of those words that Dr. Timony taught us.
How to use it in a sentence. Believe me, I like that word.
Oh my gosh. So Lawrence, in this week so far, the last 2 days, we've referenced both Dr. Heiler and Dr. Timony.
Right.
So we're like 6th grade and 12th grade, very impactful English teachers in our lives.
Yes.
That makes me really happy to hear their
Marlon,
names.
yesterday we were talking with Dr. Mary Marshall. Who was such a delight to have on the show.
Yeah.
And she was telling us about her career as an educator. And there was this interesting moment where she talked about being the only black educator in a mostly white school. And Dana and I had an English teacher in the 6th grade, Dr. Heiler, who was one of maybe 2 black teachers in our school.
She was tough.
Part of what, and this is actually kind of nice synchrony to have you here today, because you and I spoke about reparations the last time we were on together. And Dr. Heiler is who taught me about reparations. Like Dana and I, so Dana took away from Dr. Heiler's class newspaper layout, and that's kind of why Dana became an editor of the high school newspaper. And what I took away from her class was like reparations and justice, and that was kind of the reason it's been a lifelong kind of, passion of mine of like, this is a very fair thing to do. Why are we not doing this? So it was, great to talk to Dr. Marshall yesterday and be reminded
she's great. I have known her for a few years. The two of us are members of the this consortium. It actually started when we were all on Medium. So this predates Substack, writers and editors of color.
Yeah.
Get it?
Woke. I wish I'd known you on Medium. We were over there.
So yeah, time. I mean, you know, we would have a every Sunday, like a meetup on Twitter, what was in Twitter. And you know, the audio thing that you can do. And there would sometimes be 20 or 30 folks, you know, and we'd have these discussions about, I mean, we at one point we did sort of a book club with the 1619 project, where we'd have a meetup every, you know, once a week to talk about a chapter and that sort of stuff. But yeah, Dr. Marshall is she's a real one, as they say.
Absolutely.
She
Absolutely.
really is.
She's here in the chat. So hi, Dr. Marshall. I was going to say your ears are ringing, but you know, we're literally talking to you and acknowledging that you're here. So it's not just ears ringing. We had such a fun time meeting her and speaking with her yesterday.
We did. And then Lawrence and I continued that conversation because we had talked about Dr. Heiler on air, that I was like, wow, I haven't thought about her in a long time. And, you know, we were 11 when she was teaching us. And so pretty young, and we grew up in a super white neighborhood. So we hadn't had a lot of exposure. I had a couple of Black teachers in elementary school, but the school itself was very white. And back then I didn't understand her. And now, decades later, revisiting the influence and the impact that she had on both of us, I was like, oh, I think I get it more. Like, Dr. Heiler insisted you call her doctor. She showed up in suits every day for us, like round every day.
Just to the nines.
Idiot 11-year-olds, like bright colored, like bam suits. And she was real strict with us. And we learned a ton, but I was kind of terrified of her because, you know, I was young,
right.
and
she was a personality,
and scary.
Capital P personality.
Believe it. I'll tell you, and you know, this comes up every time the subject of education comes up. I mean, I was just talking to Egberto Willis yesterday, and
I heard part of that one.
You know, I saw you show up, and Egberto and I get into it, you know, like we just sync up so well. But you know, I went to segregated schools, and Lawrence, I think we talked about this when we were doing the reparations thing.
Yeah.
And you know, it's so interesting to me that for the most part, we've just resegregated our schools without Jim Crow, because Hallie and Ben, you know, Shannon and our kids, I mean, they're out of school now, which I'm glad, just given, you know, the climate. Ben's in college, but, you know, I'm talking about, you know, high school and that sort of stuff. But they went to a high school that is a public school in a district that's probably, last time I checked, maybe 20 or 30%, not quite 30. I'm going to say 20 or 25% Black. The county, the school, on the other hand, 3% Black.
Three.
There are more Asian kids that go to the school than there are Black kids, and Hispanic kids even. And so, you know, I would take them and pick them up to school, and it was just like they were, you know, they were like the Central High, you know, 9. I mean, there's so few black kids. It just was amazing. And, you know, that can't be accidental, right?
Right.
Mm-mm.
No, there's the whole system design.
Yeah. I mean, I had Black teachers until I was in the 7th grade. So that was sort of my first experience going to school with white people. And on the other hand, my kids, I mean, think about this. We're supposed to have made progress. My kids, my daughter never had a Black teacher. first grade all the way to 12th grade. And not
That's
just in
remarkable.
North Carolina. She started off in New Jersey and never had a black school teacher. Our son had I think maybe his junior year, he had, a coach that was also teaching another subject, right? And he had that guy, but otherwise, no.
We all know that guy, that teacher
Yeah,
who's
I
like,
mean,
I'd
and the
rather be on the
class was
field.
something like, oceanography or something,
Right.
something. I mean, I'm sure he enjoyed the class, but yeah, he never really had the experience of having, and I can tell you how important that is. If I can just wrap it up here. My first grade teacher, Miss Roundtree, I stayed in contact with Miss Roundtree well into college. Whenever I would come home, I would go by her house and say hello and, take her, some little something, a card or whatever. She would send me a birthday card. I mean, and this woman was like the person you're describing. She was very strict. Back in the days when the teacher could take a strap to you they just had such a vested interest in us being somebody, because we're talking about the 60s. And so the expectations were so low. But yeah, all my teachers knew my parents and would pick up the phone if I got out of line.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm sure you didn't do.
Oh, no, never.
Right.
Never. No trouble at all.
There's no glimmer of troublemaking in those eyes.
No, not me.
I am trying to think of
some of the craziest stuff in elementary school.
Did you? You were a troublemaker?
Well, it was just, not criminal stuff, but just really kind of. So, you know how the teacher has to go somewhere and they put somebody in charge?
Yes, I do.
Take names. Well, once I was the take names kid, and two guys kind of got into it, and I took them to the office, to the principal's office. I got in so much trouble.
Did you? It sounds like you did the right thing.
Because, the teacher's not really supposed to be leaving the class.
Oh,
so I kind of exposed that we were unattended.
Right.
I thought I was really, stepping
right.
up.
And you're rolling up there with like your new sheriff star on your lapel, like.
Got some kids fighting in here,
Oh my
right.
gosh.
Yeah, these two are causing trouble. I wanted to bring them to you, ma'am. And the principal's like, your teacher's not there, huh?
Little Marlon. I can just imagine how cute you were. I can't think. I'm thinking of my daughter's elementary school. Not only did they not have a black teacher, I can't think of one at the entire school.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I mean, the
sixth grade they had one, but
there was at this high school for the longest time there was not a black teacher, like for real, just a teacher. As far as I know,
the coach was a black man.
Coach was the guy. The coach, the football coach. Come on. I mean,
this was elementary school, so he was like PE coach.
But it was, and it's stuff that you don't think of. So, for example, my daughter has done, when she was in college, she did a lot of community theater, SpongeBob musical and all of that kind of stuff, and did very well, got nominated for stuff. But when she was in high school, she was always in the ensemble. So they did Macbeth. She tried out for Lady Macbeth. Well, they're not going to have my little black daughter kissing Macbeth, the white boy. And so she never could. So if you saw her in high school, you would have thought she had no talent at all because she was always in the background. In fact, they were going to do Hairspray.
Oh, yeah, that's such a good show.
And they canceled it because there's a particular song that requires two people of color to sing. Well, they only had my daughter. So they said, instead of going and finding a black person, like maybe in the choir or something, we just won't do that play,
Oh my God.
Damn.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you know what? That stuff makes you stronger though. Like I said, she when she went to college, she just blew up. I mean, she got nominated for Best Actress and all this kind of stuff. So
good for her.
Well, I think she had something to prove too, you know.
That it's not the same issue at all, but the same result of my my younger child is very into theater, and it's kind of a newer passion. In middle school it started, and she's now in high school, and she has auditioned for 4 school plays over the 2 years, and she has gotten in 0. And she won't get into other activities because all she wants is to be cast in the school play, and it's very heartbreaking. High school theater is an asshole. Yours for different reasons,
really
but
is,
it really is. Yeah.
I mean, in my daughter's case, you know, there were certain parents that would donate money for, you know, set construction. Well, how are you going to tell like somebody that just plunked down a couple of $1,000 that their kid isn't going to get the lead role? You know, come on.
Yes. I wonder if that's happening at my kid's school too, but I'm not really willing to do that.
Yeah, it is. Now that Marlon has brought it up, that makes a lot of sense.
I mean, the program itself was great. Yes. But they only had my daughter. I mean, we're not talking about the 60s. This is 4 years ago. And my daughter was the only Black person in the whole theater troupe.
I see a lot of, as a theater kid, can confirm it's happening, Dana. It happens everywhere. Okay, so I need to go plunk down some money for her school.
Right, you need to make a donation.
Well, you know, throwing money at stuff like that, I mean...
yeah,
I don't have the money to do that. I'm a podcaster right now, you guys.
I'm going to make the most inelegant segue ever. But Marlon, you mentioned football coaches, and can we agree that Signetti might be the best college football coach?
Lawrence lives in Indiana, y'all. So
right,
have to give him his moment.
You know, being a reclaimed Hoosier, having been here for 2 years now.
You know what? Good for you, because they played Miami, right?
Yeah, it was Miami last night.
And I got to tell you, Miami kicked our asses in Arkansas back in the day. Ooh, in a very embarrassing way. You know, this is like, I guess, sort of the Deion Sanders era where they just were basically a pro team. So I am more than happy to see somebody take it to Miami.
It is a pretty remarkable story that this guy came into Indiana, and which is a basketball school. Like, it has been a basketball school forever and ever, and football is just nothing here. And he was basically like, "I win. Google me," and kind of gave these very
wait, what?
Yeah, when he introduced himself to the crowd, to like the student body and everything, people didn't know who he was. And he got up and gave kind of this very terse, kind of weird speech where he was basically like, he's like, "Hey, I win. Google me."
What did that mean? Like, Google my record and
Google my record. Like, go look at my record. I have a history of winning. They hired me here because I win.
Okay.
And he kind of, there was a lot of smack talk, and he proved
it.
It.
Bragging if you can actually do it, though.
Right, exactly. That that's like literally 100 headlines today are like,
he said he would.
Right, he said he was going to do it, and he did. It's a 16-0 season.
I have to tell you, I have not kept up with football that much in the last couple of years. Just, I don't know. I used to have a football problem. I'm in a 12-step program. No, man, I used to.
Are the 12 steps as you walk back and forth in front of the TV watching football?
I will tell you how bad it was. My daughter, little bitty girl, and she, the cartoon watching age. And on Sundays, I would get up because I had like a dozen fantasy football teams that I just was managing like simultaneously. Mm-hmm. So I get up at 7:30 and I got the NFL Network on or whatever. And whenever I would get ready to change it to a football game, my daughter literally, and Shannon's sitting over here, I am not making this up. She referred to the clicker as the football button. She associated the remote with football because, and so like when I would get ready to, I mean, she would literally start crying. Daddy's got the football button. Yeah, I mean, so yeah, it got out of hand because, if you're on Sunday, man, you started. Well, I would literally start watching all the different fantasy football shows, and then that would carry into, I had the super fan thing with like 8 different screens, and then the late game it's 11 o'clock at night, and all I'm doing is watching football. Doesn't leave much time for anything else, family.
That's how I grew up, with a dad who, that
had
was
a football button.
A football, every sport button. And gambling on every game. So it's why I like you see me fogging out right now. It's like childhood trauma that I'm just like la la la. I don't know sports.
Amazingly, I had no interest in gambling at all. I never gambled on anything. I think because I ran a trading desk, and that was just enough stress for me. And that was other people's money. So I just had no desire to move the stress to my own personal money. So I guess,
you just wanted to watch for the love of the game.
I just liked football, man, a lot. But, between just the injuries, I mean, players that I had sort of grown up with start dying in their 50s and all this kind of stuff. It just took a lot of it's hard to watch. I mean, when I was a kid, you like to see guys get jacked up. But then when you're an adult and you realize, that shit's just like being in a car wreck.
Right.
It just stopped being fun to watch for me. And then, Colin Kaepernick, that sort of sealed the deal with me in the NFL. I do watch occasionally college football, but Arkansas has not been much to watch of late. So,
I do love Colin Kaepernick.
Hey, you know what?
Dreamy.
Stuck to his guns, and in a way he's kind of like a Muhammad Ali figure if you think about it. I mean, he gave up a lot.
Oh yeah.
And
his career,
boy, was he right or what?
Right.
I mean,
yeah, honestly, like
unquestionably,
the split screen that we exist in right now. Yesterday we were talking with Dr. Marshall about Martin Luther King Day and the legacy of Dr. King, and and Minneapolis and ICE and Trump and the insanity, just everything we're living through. And it's such a crazy split screen, right? To think about, people were up in arms because he was taking a knee during the national anthem to point out that police violence against Black men and people of color is real. Are you kidding me?
Yep.
We couldn't do that. We couldn't acknowledge that truth without it breaking everybody's brains.
Right. And there's never been a that guy was kind of right. There never will be.
I mean, we can say it.
But
we knew he was right side, when he was,
The other side will never change their mind. And that,
you know what? I just thought of during the time that was going on, my daughter was in the high school I was just talking about. I'm pouring down the road here, 10 miles down the road, which is a whole different story. And she got a test one time. She brought it home, and it was one of those multiple, where you draw a line from one thing to the other one.
Sure.
And I forget how it was worded, but it was something like Colin Kaepernick taking a knee was.
Oh my God. What were the choices?
And the only word that it would, match with was blasphemous.
Oh, no.
Yes. I had to be settled down because I was literally, was like, but yeah, these teachers would weave, this crazy MAGA stuff. Like she had a Spanish teacher who ultimately got fired for coming to work on the sauce. But she gets in the car one day and she's like, Dad, what do they call it? The caravan. Yeah. She's like, Dad, what's the caravan? And I'm like, well, why? Well, my Spanish teacher was talking about the caravan. It was like, how does that even? Yeah. She's talking about the caravan in school.
The grammarian in me, I'm offended that the only word it can match up with blasphemous, in part because, of course, it's programming the kids with, racism, overt racism, but also because it's not blasphemy. God isn't involved there. Like it's the country, the flag, it's football. It's not God.
Well, maybe not in Indiana.
And well, no, I'm sure in Indiana it is. I just,
right.
For me,
everything is Jesus, but
yeah.
But no, there was another teacher that actually, there was like a kid, the football team, the black kids on the team had started taking a knee during the national anthem. And one of the running backs got injured, end of the season kind of thing. And the teacher actually said, something like, good for him. He deserved it for taking a knee.
Oh, do you hear this?
Yeah.
Do you hear this? Kira she can't hear it. It's in my headset, but she's upset and she's comforting us right now.
And what do you even do with that? I just, I'm just glad they're out. I mean, because that was 4 or 5 years ago. So imagine now how it is.
Oh, we see how it is. There's people.
But can you imagine having? Well, you have a kid in school, but it's a whole different thing over here in North Carolina, y'all.
It is. So I did just find, this will be a nice transition. When we were getting ready for our MLK show yesterday, I had this flashback to a drawing that my now senior in high school daughter did when she was in kindergarten. And I was like, I don't organize. I have like 80,000 photos in my camera roll. Like finding things is tricky. So I couldn't find it. But thanks to the magic of Facebook, it just popped up as a memory today because, MLK Day moves off. And so I just put it up on Substack. And I think I can capture the link here. Copy link. And I will plunk it in the chat. But she did this drawing, and both of my daughters are avid artists and always have been. This is obviously quite elementary because she was just turned 6 when she made it. But it says it's a moon, and it says the sun can dance under the sun, and then on the other side with the moon, and the sun and the moon are holding hands.
Oh.
And she said to my dad, which makes this funnier because he is a real racist fuck before he got dementia. He was out here visiting. I learned this from Martin Luther King. The sun is light and the moon is dark, and the sun can dance with the moon. That was what she took away from her MLK chapter at school, and she drew that. And I was like, and my dad was horrified, and I was so happy. And I don't have a profound thing to say there other than in the blue cities at her very white school with no black teachers, which is not great, they studied MLK in very positive ways. And if someone had come after Colin Kaepernick or had said some of these hateful things, like there would be repercussions. I do feel certain of that. There's all kinds of other problematic things happening, but like some kids are being raised in the atmosphere my kids were raised in, and we're about to unleash them on the world, and they're ready to fight, I hope.
Well, they might save us. I mean, my kids are very aware of, because now Hallie Claire is 22 and Ben's 20.
What a cute name.
Yeah, well, there's a story behind that, but I won't bore you guys with it. Plus, my wife's sitting right next to me over here.
Uh-oh. Is this a compromise?
I prefer life instead of...
Hello, Marlon.
So we will save that for another show when she's not around. but yeah, I've mentioned this before, just like really perverse backwards way. The pandemic was actually good in the sense that they were doing all this homework, and they had to get online and teach, they would live stream, and then they started using vendors when it became obvious that this was going to be like a long-term thing. And I would sit up and I would, for the first time, really get into, okay, what are you doing today? What's your assignment? And it was like I was homeschooling them in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
And there was just so much that they just were not getting taught. I mean, like electoral college, basic civics.
Right.
It wasn't that they were dumb kids. They just weren't even, it just didn't come up. And the day that I found Hallie Claire doing an assignment and the reference material was from the Heritage Foundation.
Oh, hell no.
I was like, Dad's got to get granular with this crap, because they are slipping stuff in here that's, what possibly could you be getting from the Heritage Foundation?
Right.
And so I had to explain to her. That's when I took up the whole thing, because at that point I had started my newsletter, and I just really got involved in just the whole critical thinking thing. And, okay, I'm going to give you 10 sources and you tell me which one, you rank them, that kind of thing. And so, I mean, I made their homework assignments a whole lot more meat on the bone than they would have liked, but so what,
Yeah. Well, and I mean, thank God you did, right? Because now your kids have that skill of critical thinking and they need it more than ever in this crazy world.
And it's, what? I occasionally do I haven't done one in, I think maybe last April was the last one I did, but there's a business school, University of North Carolina, Wilmington's about 20 miles from me. And so I did one on misinformation. This, it's like I hate to call it a lecture, because I'm just, I'm a guy with no college degree telling these, don't do what I did. But
sounds like a lecture to me, but carry on.
It is. I mean, and there would be, I don't know, 75 or 100 kids, and and I did this lecture on misinformation, and it kind of speaks to what we do as independent journalists. And it's also one of the reasons I don't really paywall the stuff that I write, because it's sort of, if you think about it, misinformation is almost always free. It's almost, there's no paywalls on propaganda, right?
There are no paywalls on propaganda.
Honestly, Marlon, these are t-shirt worthy sayings.
Hey man, hook me
Misinformation is always free.
It just is. I mean, and so I just kind of walk them through how to discern. Yeah. And you think about it, the New York Times, all these so-called, quality sources of information, you got to pay. And so when I ask people to become paid subscribers, I'm saying to them, look, make it so that I can subscribe to these dozen, what are generally, even though the New York Times, Washington Post, there's stuff we don't like. I don't, the opinion stuff is trash. But in terms of just basic reporting, I have to have access to that stuff. And so I did this lecture, and at some point, it was like a PowerPoint thing. At some point, I made the comment that the most prolific purveyor of false information is Elon Musk. Do you know that's the only pushback that I got? Because at the end of it, 10 minutes left, questions, comments, whatever. And this young lady says, well, that's free speech, isn't it? And I'm like, well, yeah, it's free speech, but he's lying half the time. So he can say what he wants to say, but that doesn't mean it's true. And she was like, never thought of it that way. Right. I mean, so I just think schools don't spend enough time on that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So we have to do it.
Yeah. And I mean, here I am with another inelegant segue, but I am not seeing enough in the newspapers today about the crazy ass letter that Donald Trump sent to Norway to the Prime Minister of Norway. Have you read the letter?
A person like a uncle, or any of us would be getting the folks together. We got to do something about old Uncle Don. He's something's going wrong, man.
Can I read the letter? It's relatively short. Can I actually read it out loud to everyone?
Because it's hard to believe.
Lawrence, can you do it with one of your voices, though?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
You have a Trump voice.
No.
Nick has a good Trump voice.
No, I don't mean that. I mean your vocoder, your new toy.
Oh, right. Here,
At least the first line.
Should I read it in this voice? Like this?
No, I mean like one of your squeaky, weird Darth Vader voices. Use your new soundboard.
Oh, I thought I was changing my pitch. Maybe I'm not.
No, you sounded actually like
you guys have got
ASMR.
You got to get some of these cool headphones too. I feel like I'm, you know.
You gotta get one of these. Hi.
Maybe this?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay. Here's the letter.
This is a family show, Dana.
Right. From the White House, Washington, D.C. Dear Jonas, considering your country decided not to give me the Nobel Peace Prize for having stopped 8 wars plus, I no longer feel an obligation to think purely of peace, although it will always be predominant, but can now think about what is good and proper for the United States of America. Denmark cannot protect that land from Russia or China. And why do they have a right of ownership anyway? There are no written documents. It is only that a boat landed there hundreds of years ago. But we had boats landing there also. I have done more for NATO than any other person since its founding. And now, NATO should do something for the United States. The world is not secure unless we have complete and total control of Greenland. Thank you, Donald J. Trump, President, 45th President of the United States.
Okay. Did you hear that sound Kira just made it? That's what that sounds.
Okay, boy. Wow, I need one of those.
Oh God!
Whatever that is, I gotta have one.
Yeah, do the Darth Vader voice.
Yeah, I'll send you a link, Marlon. It's this brand called Maono. They make mics and soundboards and things for podcasting. And the name makes me laugh because there's an amazing restaurant in Seattle called Maono, which makes the best Hawaiian fried chicken that you have ever had in your entire life.
I do not know this.
It's in West Seattle. Okay. And it's probably gone because my information is old.
We just got to spend some time on this.
Oh my God. Lawrence, will you please do the Darth Vader voice for Marlon?
Oh, really?
Oh, listen to this.
Mr. Weems, I find your lack of faith in me disturbing.
I mean, it's not James Earl Jones, but
No, it's close.
So
wow,
I couldn't.
Man.
I don't think I could take that.
Sweat.
Yeah, I had to hear that letter read it, Lawrence, because that's the tone with which we should hear it, right? Like
I wish I could make my tone every time he said something. I wish it sounded like that because it would be like on par with his behavior.
The only thing I've seen as follow up to this letter, because that news broke yesterday morning, and I was like, oh Jesus Christ. I saw Mary Trump, I think was the one who shared that the rumor is that Europe is going to capitulate to him.
What?
That was,
I
but
don't
I
think
haven't.
they are.
I hope that they are not.
I was listening to, just financial radio, because today is the start of the World Economic Forum in Davos.
Mm-hmm.
And, they're already embarrassing us. I didn't catch it, but Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, he said something. I have to confirm it because I caught the tail end of it, but it was something like, he was predicting that the United States was going to have like 7% economic growth, but that's not good. I mean, pardon me, that kind of economic growth is just runaway inflation, right? Because the economy's too hot.
Right.
But they're just out there saying shit. But what I heard, I was listening just maybe 10 minutes or so before we started up. It was the Secretary of the Exchequer. So, UK, right?
Right.
Very proper. But she was in that UK kind of way saying, we ain't having this shit. She was saying something like, it's not constructive for anyone. And, and just the whole idea is dumb. It's just dumb.
Right. He wants it because it looks good on a map.
Well, and the problem for us is this whole threat of tariffs. If we give me Greenland or 25% tariffs.
Right. 200% tariffs on French wine.
Like a kid running around with a gun. Just everything, anybody, this is, I'll shoot you. I mean, it's the dumbest thing and it's so self-destructive to the credibility of the United States.
Yeah.
I would just be so embarrassed to be outside the country right now. Because everybody's looking at you like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
And Marlon, when you say, oh, sorry, you go first, Lawrence. We just took the same tone. Marlon.
You're right. Well, no, I mean, on a financial front, part of what I've heard is that previously, like earlier in the tariff battle, Canada and Japan and the EU basically said, hey, we're holding all of this American debt. It sure would be a shame if we dumped it at the same time. And I'm hearing again, what I've read and heard a couple of places is that Europe is looking at this and saying, we're going to do it this time. Like, we're going to dump U.S. debt and it will crater the dollar. And I mean, wouldn't that just trash the whole economy, the global economy, Marlon?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, you know what? I saw somebody in the chats, NATO's, done, and we've been taking care of everybody. Look, folks need to recognize that these alliances post-World War II, this whole construct is the reason we're the superpower that we are.
Yes.
It's not the other way around. It's not like we were all that and we've been taking care of everybody. No, it is to our advantage to be taking care of everybody, because that's what lets us be, the guy in charge.
Right. The indispensable nation.
Yeah. It has been to our advantage, and we have certainly reaped the benefits from it. Right.
Yeah.
If we didn't have all those relationships, then we would be paying $3,000 for a telephone or a cell phone.
Yeah.
Right. If we didn't have all these trade relationships with these countries and these alliances, who you think we're selling our military shit to?
Yeah.
I mean, so look,
putting all the hearts on that.
It works both ways, right? Until now. And the problem that you've got now is no matter who the next guy is, assuming or gal, assuming it's a Democrat, nobody trusts us now.
Right.
Nothing that we say has any Well, nobody's going to bet the farm on America's word anymore, and
because the next president could go out there
about how we've done, you know, global politics, but for the most part, if we made a deal with somebody, it was a deal. So think about it. Trump is basically doing Liberation Day 2.0 right now.
Mm-hmm.
And what I was hearing this morning from different leaders is that, you know, basically, what the fuck? We thought we just signed a deal with you 3 months ago.
Yep.
That you would not do this. So now,
right,
it makes China look a whole lot more sane, doesn't it?
Right.
yeah.
Right. China has deep pockets and a lot of stability compared to us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're so right, Marlon. Like, you know,
I'm sorry. Could you say that again?
You're so right, Marlon. Here,
now in your Darth Vader voice.
You're so right, Marlon.
You're so right, Marlon.
Whoa.
That just sounds like burping.
That's dangerous, man. I need to get that
Maybe it's just like this. Marlon, you are so right.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Okay. But imagine that a Democrat wins in 28, right? Like, please God. It doesn't matter how much you like that person or how much you believe in their personal integrity. No government, no country in the world is going to listen to that president of the United States and not now think, yeah, you're just here for 4 years. You people are crazy.
Well,
you could literally vote for Trump 2.0.
I mean, it's already happened that, you know, Biden came in and the mistake that he made, and look, he accomplished a lot, and on paper, you know, so that's not the argument that I'm making. It's just that he thought, okay, we got Trump out. Everything's back to normal, folks. I'm here, and let's go back to what we've been doing.
Right.
When what he should have done was like, what is it, Brazil? Throw this son of a bitch in jail.
Yeah.
You know,
for 27 years.
They all expected that was what was going to happen.
Yeah.
And you know, we have a bad habit of doing that. I saw it when, you know, I was in New York still when the financial crisis happened.
The 2008 one?
Yeah. Yeah, I have to be specific.
You have to clarify.
Right. Which financial crisis? We're all Gen X, Marlon. Like it could be anyone.
I'm sorry. Although I was around for the one in 87 too. Thanks, Dana, for that. But yeah, you know, you had people that should have gone at least to trial,
right,
for some of the crap that financial firms were doing. That they had to know the outcome was going to, you know, if a certain set of things happen, it's going to be real bad. There was no way they couldn't know. And firms like paying guys exorbitant amounts of money that basically blew up the world economy. Pardon me. So we just have a habit of letting people off the hook that it's almost like the bigger the crime, the less likely you're going to have to pay for it.
Right. That's honestly, too big to fail.
Yeah, it's too big to fail. And it's like what we taught Trump, basically, like commit the biggest possible crimes and we will be afraid to, you know, prosecute you or even, you know, say the words that a crime was committed because a bunch of low information voters are going to get angry that we're being mean to you.
Well, look at what's going on with Rachel Nicole Good, where her widow is being investigated. The governor and the mayor is, but the guy who actually murdered her.
Right. Yeah, not him.
Not so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am very worried about Minneapolis. I have friends in Minneapolis, and I see Minneapolis as this is it. This is the turning point. And I saw yesterday Trump was threatening to send in actual military. Actually, that news came out that Trump was threatening to send 1,500 U.S. troops from Alaska, trained in Arctic fighting, to Minneapolis. We were going to invade our own, a blue dot, as an otherwise peaceable city. I haven't heard that it's happening, but I'm not making it up. It was in the New York Times.
I heard
it was
this.
on PBS.
And you know why they're Arctic trained? It's because it's 1 degree here right now.
The ice agents are slipping and slide. Like the ice on ice thing is giving me life. All those video clips of ice agents falling on ice is like poetic and it's beautiful. But I see if we don't stop it here, it's like Seattle is certainly on the short list, and then like we're just a country that invades our own cities, and yet still that's not enough. People like Lawrence knows that this happened last night. I had a relative who I have not talked to in years suddenly just emerge on my Facebook wall because I had shared a first person account from someone in Minneapolis talking about what it's like on the ground. And it was just sort of a bulleted list, right? And I don't even think he's Trumpy. He was just like, you can't post this because it's not a fact. And you have to research and do facts. And I just popped off and was like, don't come at me. I have 0 tolerance for this right now. Don't come at me at my wall on this. So he started DMing me about like, oh no, you misread me, but it's misinformation. And that's the worst thing that's happening in our country. And I'm like, and there's trouble on both sides of the ISLE of the aisle. And shh, stop that. I was like, oh my God, the both sidism is coming down here. You're not looking at what's happening in Minneapolis and saying this could be my city next. Like, first of all, don't accuse me of media illiteracy, sir. Do you even know who I am?
Right.
You clearly
Cousin,
don't.
do you even know who I am?
Know who I am.
Right. And second of all, he was upset about like if you're blocking traffic. You're violating, you're free to protest, but blocking traffic in the streets, you're not free to do that. And I was like,
well, the penalty isn't death.
Thank you, Marlon. I've been saying that since the whole Renee Cole.
Right. Like how are we here? And he was just like, and then like a friend of mine who'd responded, he started DMing her. She told me asking for citations, and I was like, you're looking for citations that ICE agents are taking people out of their homes and detaining them? Like, let me Google that for you. Like, what proof are you looking for?
Are you serious?
Yeah, this is what he was like, he demanded. So and I actually thought of Egberto and you because I just blocked him. It's like, I'm not close to my cousins. I don't care.
Life's too short.
We don't have a relationship. I haven't heard from him in years. But and this is a Jewish man with an immigrant wife. I just like in the city. That's where we are of like, okay, but prove it. And I think I've gotten off on like 6 tangents from where we originally were, but how have we reached a point where what's supposed to be good, media literacy and searching for things has come to like the both sides of it is, oh, but were they following the law? I'm like, dude, they're sending in like 1,500.
Well, if I can just chime in, a lot of this is because people don't know how things work, right? There's a guy that I follow on on Instagram, and he kind of has it. When you don't know how anything works, everything looks like a conspiracy.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Okay. And you have people who simply do not know basic civics. They don't know anything about, like, they talk about law and order, but they don't know how things work. And they read a lot of really bad stuff. I mean, because who thinks if, boy, Martin Luther King would have been dead a whole lot quicker if, blocking, having martyrs and stuff was the death penalty.
Right. Yeah.
The crazy thing is this particular relative, he's a year older than Lawrence. and older than we are. And we went to the same high school, and the same college. Actually, we got the same education. He should know better. I get what my sorry, my point was that I sort of missed along the way was I thought of Egberto and of you and of like I should sit down calmly and try to talk, and I can't. My only response is like block to burn, like I do on dating apps. Like I don't have any time and space for this, and I don't know which is the better way to try to impact change.
For your blood pressure or what?
I mean,
right. I have low blood pressure. I should be able to take
one,
it.
I mean, when I get that kind of a response, I kind of either I'll ignore it. Sometimes I'll respond with, just like a normal response. And depending on what comes back, that's what decides a block.
Yeah.
I mean, we're too busy.
Well, and you made such a good point, Marlon, about, there being massive fundamental gaps in knowledge, right? Like, years ago at this point, probably like 4 or 5 years ago, I got into an online argument with somebody who was trying to make the point that like Congress was screwing up because the House had passed a bill and the Senate had passed a bill and they were different and now they were secretly meeting. And I was like, it's called reconciliation, bro. Like that's literally how it works. And it got me thinking, how do you, if people are missing giant pieces of information about how our government works, you're right. Then everything looks like a conspiracy. Everything looks like misinformation. If I told you the House and Senate were secretly meeting to like hammer out their differences on a bill that they'd both already passed, like I could imagine Rush Limbaugh or somebody crazy, making that sound like a conspiracy.
That's like somebody said in the Substack chat. It's exhausting.
It's exhausting.
It's exhausting. I mean, the only thing for me as a black man, it's a close second to me having to explain to white folks stuff.
Yeah.
That, I mean, one of my brothers has an exhibit. He's in Arkansas, and it's something that was originally built for the Clinton Museum, and during COVID they just sort of scrapped it, and he had the opportunity and he bought this exhibit, and it's like if you can imagine, if you're in a museum, it's like a juke joint, like, and it's this big thing and you walk into it and it's like you're in Centers almost, right? And he'll invite different blues musicians to play and all this stuff. So a couple of months ago, some kids were going through taking the tour, and one of them thought it would be a good idea to write a swastika on something.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So just a couple of days ago, he sends me this voicemail that he got. I think there were two guys involved. They're in high school, obviously, they're white kids, and it's the mother of one of the kids. And apparently, I guess this where this happened is considered part of the campus of the University of Arkansas. So campus police had suggested to her that she reach out to my brother, which I guess maybe they're trying to keep from actually turning her her kid over to the police, and hoping they'll work it out. But I listened to this voicemail, and it was clear that she had not punished this kid in any way, and she expected my brother to educate him on why what he did was wrong. And it's kind of like, lady, you're the parent.
Right.
And this has been now, like I said, It was before the holidays. So, she's wanting to have like a teachable moment, but my brother's the one that's expected to do the teaching.
Yeah.
Right. And so, I think, this is not confined to black folks. right? But it's the same thing as maybe a gay person having to explain why it's okay for gay people to get married.
Right. Marlon, I was just going to say, like, I have that experience, right, where I get exhausted being, the ambassador from Faglandia,
for all
right?
Gay people, right?
Right. Like, oh, sure, ask me the question at this party because you just found out that I'm gay. And, the difference, of course, is my otherness is not apparent on the outside.
Yeah, try being the only black person in the room.
Yeah.
Everything from just anything you can imagine. Ask Marlon.
Right.
He'll know. Dude, how come black people fill in the blank?
Right.
So it's crazy, and it is really exhausting. It really is. But sometimes I relish in it a little bit because I get a little mischievous.
I can't tell if
what.
Uh-oh.
You
did
can't
we lose you, Dana?
Did Dana freeze on us?
I think my connection is down.
Oh,
no,
I think so.
I can hear you.
We can see you and hear you.
You were about to say something.
Okay. You guys are coming and going. Well, I was going to say you guys are coming and going, but I think it's me. I think the chat is I hope everyone on the live is still hearing you loud and clear, and that the problem is on my end.
Hi, it's you. You're the problem. It's you.
Thanks. It always is me. So
wait a minute.
Even though
I'm always the problem.
Yeah, it depends who you ask and what the problem is.
We're a little over time, but Marlon, I mean, it's par for the course. We could talk to you forever, and considering we didn't really have an agenda today, we've covered a lot of ground.
I think we have. We
Yeah,
got to do this
usually,
more, folks. I enjoy talking to you guys.
Yes,
and we're such a great cross section, right?
Right.
We
we've got liberal Jewish mom, gay guy, black guy. Like, we're like part of a diversity panel or something here. Talk to us about DEI. Would you like to, Mr. Trump, talk to us about diversity and inclusion?
Don't even get me started, man.
Oh my God.
Don't get me started on DEI.
I know. I had really wanted to ask you about your plans for 2026 over at the Journeyman, but I think we're going to have to get you back on to talk about that.
Oh, darn. Okay.
What do we want to do this year? We've got a lot of work ahead of us.
We definitely need you to get back on to talk about that because clearly you are plotting and building an empire over there, Mr. Weems. We see you.
We see you.
At least it's not the evil empire.
No, it is not the evil empire. It is an empire for good. Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Well, we'll be in touch. Maybe we should just have a once a month, once every 2 weeks, once a quarter, whatever we decide.
You let me know.
It could be a special show, Shooting the Shit with Marlon.
You guys, I've told you this before. You're my wife's favorite show.
Aw. Thank you, Shannon.
So happy.
I am not kidding. She likes.
Can she come on one episode? Will she join?
I don't know if that's something that we want to encourage.
Well, the fact that you're a little dubious about it makes me want it more.
I mean, hey, I'll ask.
Have her come on and say hi at least.
I mean, this would be her Substack debut,
So that would be such an honor.
And my daughter, I did a live with her right after she graduated, and I mean, now that she's free from the educational system, I have to schedule just like everybody else. And she lives with me.
Right.
Right.
I have no idea what she's doing and when she's doing it, but it's all good.
My 18-year-old is kind of the same way. In fact, I need to get upstairs and go see what my kids are up to. I also need to I need a lighting consultant. If there are any lighting experts out there, because I'm podcasting from my basement, there's very little natural light.
But it's, I mean, it looks good. You got, your frames in the background, and
I think you need an uplight that's a little rosier so that you're not so
help because I have too much light coming in.
I look gray. I could go there's a bluer light and there's a golden light.
The golden light is better.
The golden one, is
that better?
Yeah.
Yeah,
the golden
it
light is
brings
better.
out the color in the Star Trek.
You also need a little brooch that you can wear. preferably in like a
brooch.
triangle shape.
Maybe a different one for every show, you know.
Right.
Beat me up. There's no intelligent life
Madeline
on this
Albright, wasn't she the
podcast.
one with the big old giant brooch on
Yeah,
her
she
shoulder?
had a whole language of brooches. Like she would wear a brooch and be sending a coded message like, China, you should rebel. Yeah, she was famous for it.
Isn't it a brooch, Lawrence? When you said a brooch, I was like, I don't know what a brooch is.
I don't know.
think it's a
Brooch.
That's how I've always pronounced the word.
I am probably saying it wrong.
I think it's a
literally, I'm
That's all
thinking
that
of the
matters.
dude from Airplane who's like, I could create a bird, I could create a hat, I could create a brooch, whatever, you know. No, nobody. All right. And on that note.
Okay.
It's time to go.
All right.
Thank you as always.
Yes.
Thanks
to everybody in the chat. Sorry about my connectivity issues here because.
Oh, I don't think it's as bad as you think it is.
Always. Yeah. We're gonna reach out again. We're getting you on the show again.
Perfect. Just let me know.
All right. When. Thanks, Marlon. Thanks, everybody.
See you on the other side.
Love you, mean it. Bye.
I am cutting out. Love you, mean it. Bye.